So now onto the concept of common chord modulation. I want to make a difference between tonicization and modulation. Tonicization is what we saw when we had, for example, 5-7 of 5. We very briefly treat the 5 chord as if it's a tonic by giving it its own dominant. But then we would immediately revert back to the original key when we resolved to that 5 chord, and then that would resolve us to a 1 chord. So we didn't leave the key. It was very quick. It was a fleeting tonicization, something that comes by, happens, and is gone, and you still remain in the original key. Now, if we did something where we were moving along and we hit a 5-7 of 5, and we went to 5, and then we did 5-7 of 5 and 5, and then we had a cadence that went 5-7 of 5, 5. At this point, this is no longer going to sound like 5-7 of 5 going to 5. It's actually going to sound like 5-7 going to 1. This repeated tonicization has actually redefined what we hear as tonic, and now we have modulated to a new key. So tonicization is treating a chord briefly as if it's a tonic, but then you continue in the original key. Modulation is treating a new chord as tonic, and then you continue to treat that new chord as tonic, and generally you will have a cadence to confirm the modulation. Okay. So why is this called common chord? Okay, common chord modulations are mostly relevant when we're going from one key to a closely related key. For example, if we want to go from C major to G major, we know C major has 0 sharps and flats, G major has 1 sharp and flat. So these are closely related keys. Practically speaking, what this means is that these keys have many chords in common. C major these are the chords that we have. And in G major, we have these chords. Between these two keys, many chords are in common. The only ones that are not in common, here we have D major and D minor. Here we have F sharp diminished, F major. And here we have B diminished and B minor. So from C major to G major, there are 4 chords that are common to both keys. What this means is in a progression in C major, we could go to one of these chords, for example, a C major, and then we could treat it as if it's a 4 chord in the key of G, and then continue on a progression in the key of G. So the C would, in a way, be sort of a portal to the new key. This works well for closely related keys because they have many chords in common. If we were to look at for example, C major to F sharp major, those are foreign keys, there would be 0 chords in common between the two keys, so a common chord modulation would not be possible. That's not to say that you can't modulate from C major to F sharp major, you just have to do it in a different way than a common chord modulation. By far the most common type of modulation is the common chord modulation, and we'll have a chance to work through this more with the analysis exercises from the homework this week. That's all for now. See ya.